I am Dinesh Aswal, Director, National Physical Laboratory. We are here to celebrate the World Meteorology Day. As you know, that in 1875, a meter convention was signed on this day, that is May 20, to ensure that the entire world has uniform meter and kilogram. Uniform measurement has resulted in industrial manufacturing, international trade, and quality of life. During the Second World War, that started somewhere in 1939, India was also locked down. We are locked down now. And all our sea routes, they were closed down. And at that time, the British government decided that all the products should be made in India. It means that all the measurements requiring for industrial production has to be at par with the international community. Mine, in 1940, the British government started the concept of scientific concept for scientific and industrial research, known as the CSIR. And under the CSIR, which was formed on 26 September 1942, 5 laboratories were built, and one of them was National Physical Laboratory. The role of National Physical Laboratory was to ensure that the measurement of international labs are transmitted to India. The International Bureau of Weights and Measures, which is located in France, that is responsible for weights and measure and all 7 international system of units, that is meter, kilogram, second, mole, ampere, Kelvin, and candela. No matter whatever we measure, no matter whatever industry we have, no matter whatever policy we make, all of them require the measurement system traceable to these SI units. Now, once we do that, all our manufacturing is going to be of very, very high quality. So again, we are in the lockdown period, and our Honorable Prime Minister has given a mantra of Atmanirbhar Bharat. It means that the made in India products need to be very, very successful. Now, if the made in India products need to be at par with the international quality, it is very important that our measurements are traceable to the SI. Now, once our measurements are perfect, it means that we will not allow any kind of poor quality import from any country. In past, we are aware that we have been dumped with the poor quality materials by different countries. And that is probably our testing laboratory associated with those testing probably are not calibrated to SI units. Similarly, many times we have read our newspapers that many of the export items of India are rejected. And basically, when we test here, we find the materials are okay, particularly the rice where we have got the pesticides. And our laboratory say that it is okay, but when it goes to foreign country, particularly in developed nation, it is found that the pesticides are above the permissible limit, and therefore there is a rejection of these food items. So in order to ensure that our import and export, they are very, very perfect, we need to build and ensure that the measurement traceability is provided to everywhere. The International Bureau of Weights and Measures, which is responsible for these SI units, every year we celebrate this day, World Meteorology Day, to ensure that the quality of life of each citizen across the globe is enhanced. Measurements are also required to ensure the high quality environment, and therefore when we want to measure the quality of air or the quality of water, the measurement equipment should be calibrated to the SI. So the mantra for making all our products made in India equivalent to the international quality lies if our measurements are traceable to SI units per month. In this country, we have got more than 4 lakh testing laboratories. These laboratories fall under government sector as well as the private sector. In the government sector, labs are essentially used to ensure the conformity assessment of their regulations. For example, the Central Pollution Control Board has got many laboratories to ensure that the measurement of environmental measuring equipment are correct. Similarly, we have got many labs which are in private sector and get accredited from NABL, National Accreditation Board of Testing and Calibration Laboratory, to ensure that whatever measurement they do, that they are correct. So there are two ways by which a equipment can be calibrated. One is that to follow the traceability chain from where by which the equipment is calibrated to a reference standard and reference standard to secondary standard, secondary to the primary standard kept at NPL, and NPL gets the international traceability from the BIP. If we follow that, absolutely there is no way that our product can go wrong. The other way is that we use the certified reference material. In majority of the cases, the certified reference material produced by the National Metrology Institute, like National Physical Laboratory, these materials can be used to calibrate your equipment, and therefore the traceability is directly available at your laboratory. The NABL has been doing a fantastic job. They have already accredited 5,600 labs, and during the COVID period, when we are under the lockdown, NPL on the backdrop have been immensely working. The PPE kit testing laboratories got the traceability from NPL. I know our scientists, they work day and night to ensure that all the ordnance labs, they get the traceability from the NPL. On the other hand, the NABL assured that these testing laboratories are accredited as per the norms, and they have also worked very hard to ensure that the accreditation is given to these laboratories. During this period, 146 COVID testing laboratories were accredited by NABL, which are doing the test. So, to sum up, the theme of this year is for international trade, measurement for international trade, and this is very apt because we are in a situation where we have to ensure the made in India product in our country. And Honorable Prime Minister rightly pointed out that this is the time where we should be Atmanirbhar. And Atmanirbhar will not come just by having a lot of money, but by producing the products of the international quality. And as already told that the quality of the product will only come when we ensure that our measurements are correct. NPL also work for the Indian Standard Time and the cyber security and the power grid. Many people during the 9th April at 9 a.m. when Honorable Prime Minister wanted to or did a remarkable job by uploading the corona variants, many people felt that the power grid will fail. But since we have got all the power grid traceable to Indian Standard Time, so all the servers of the Power Grid Corporation were synchronized to the IFT, and we have got a phasor measurement unit which were calibrated by NPL, so there was no failure of the grid which were widely expected by a section of media. So measurement has got a huge potential. In fact, the NMI all over the world are known as the growth engine of the country. So NPL supports more than several thousands of study sectors, including ISRO, DRDO, Department of Atomic Energy, industries, all big giants, automobiles, pharmaceutical industry. Everybody gets the measurement traceability from the NPL. So on this occasion of this World Metrology Day, On behalf of National Physical Laboratory, I assure that if everyone follows the correct measurements, there is no way that India can't be self-reliant in the coming days or coming years. With this, once again, I wish you all the best. Now, I will request Dr. Shekhar Mande, the Director General of CSIR and Secretary DSIR, to release the poster of World Meteorology Day. Dr. Mande, please.
Thank you, Dr. Aswal. So, Dr. Aswal, Director of NPL, Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, a very old friend of ours and Chairman of AICTE, Sri Jayanji Sahasrabudhe, another person whom all of us know very well from Vigyan Bharati, Sri Venkateshwaran, the CEO of NABL, and all the friends and colleagues. I would like to start on a very somber note. The fact that today we are missing one of the great personalities that we have been having for so many years with us, and one of our greatest supporters, Professor S.K. Joshi. So Professor Joshi was the director of NPL. Then he also assumed the Director Generalship of CSIR in the post-1991 era, which many of us believe was one of the toughest era for science and technology in the country. And there are many ways he supported science and technology. One of the stories that was pointed out to me 2 days ago was by Dr. Mashelkar, who was then director of NCL Pune. And Dr. Mashelkar told me that in the very difficult economic time, the budget for science and technology was extremely constrained. And if the budget had continued to be so much constrained, many of the labs would have had to close down. So Dr. Mashelkar decided to approach the World Bank for a loan to NCL, and the loan would have to be returned in a fixed time period. And he went to take permission of Professor Joshi, who was the Director General. And at that time, Professor Joshi said that if you take my formal permission on paper, I will have nothing but to say no. I will have to reject your request. However, if you don't take my permission, I am with you. You please go ahead and take the loan, but don't bring it to my attention. And Dr. Mashelkar went ahead without telling them formally, Professor Joshi, took the World Bank loan, and that World Bank loan allowed NCL to grow further and be one of the hubs where industry could come and work with NCL. And NCL was successfully able to return the loan in about 10 years after that. Now that only shows one of the greatest qualities of Professor Joshi, that he was very well known for taking people along with him. An extraordinarily fine gentleman, as all of us knew him, and we miss him deeply today in this function. Having said that, I'm very pleased to be amongst all of you on the World Meteorology Day. As Dr. Aswal pointed out very correctly, NCL Delhi was assigned the role of being National Meteorology Institute of the country by an act of parliament. The Indian Parliament has recognized NCL to be the beholder of all the standards in the country. And therefore, some of you would know that NPL also maintains the Indian Standard Time. And NPL has done over the years a fantastic job of bringing uncertainty in the standard time to literally about 2.9 seconds or something like that. It's one of the finest jobs that they have done, and they rank something like 4th in the world, no?
2.9 nanoseconds with 4th rank.
With 4th rank in the world, and we should be very, very proud that NCL has been able to achieve this just behind some of the most advanced economies in the country. Similarly, NCL also maintains many different standards. So during the day, you will get to know what are they. As Dr. Aswal very correctly pointed out, this maintaining of these standards would go on helping generating quality infrastructure in the country, and the quality infrastructure is one of the basic fundamental aspects of making Bharat Atmanirbhar. And therefore, the call that Honorable Prime Minister has given, Atmanirbhar Bharat, NPL has a very important role to play in that particular call. Let me once again welcome you for this World Meteorology Day celebration today at NPL, and my greetings to all of you for the same day. Thank you very much.
Now, I request Professor Anil Sastibudde, Chairman of All India Council for Technical Education, to release the NPL poster which says Meteorology and Bharatiya Nirishakabya for the Development of Nation, Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Thank you, Dr. Aswalji, for inviting here on the World Meteorology Day. Dr. Shekhar Mande, one of my good friends from Indian Institute of Science State, the Jain Sastibudde, who has been driving Vigyana Bharati, self-reliant India through science and technology. We have Venkateshwaran, CEO of NABL, and all the audience who are there in the rest of the country for watching this particular program of World Meteorology Day, which is having synchronous with the announcement of the Honorable Prime Minister about self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. And for this self-reliance, obviously, two important characteristics become significant. One of them is the quality of manufacturing, quality of products that we are producing, and the quality cannot be measured unless we have some kind of a measurement system which is standardized. And that is where this entire World Meteorology Day, which started being celebrated from 1875 onwards. This is the 145 years which have been passed off. But starting from very simple measurements which had to be standardized, whether it is in terms of the mass in kilograms or whether it is in terms of length in meters or time in seconds, we went on to have various other derived units which started off from the basic fundamental units. And from there on, there are different laboratories all over the world which do this standardization and also maintain this. And with respect to this, I should compliment and congratulate National Physical Laboratory by being in this forefront of measurements, both standardization as well as helping others for secondary, tertiary levels of having standards. And there are more than 5,000 laboratories which have been doing this task. I think this is a phenomenal task which has been undertaken. And when we look at the history of measurements itself, because probably mankind, right from beginning, when it started settling down, needed some kind of measurement, whether it is in terms of barter system, where it started counting numbers, exchange of products, and this went on till we actually came into FPS system, then MKS system, and finally the present system, which is SI system of units. And therefore, this whole journey is a fantastic journey from the day-to-day requirements of the mankind to highly scientific objectives that are in place. So we require measurement and quality measurement. And therefore, whether it is accuracy, precision of these equipment which have to be tested, calibrated, it becomes very significant. In fact, as education, it is very important because all those who get educated finally land up in jobs, whether it's in industry, whether in society, in the government, or in the research laboratories. The quality embedment has to happen in the education system. And therefore, there is always a course in at least engineering curriculum which is called as metrology itself. And mostly it is done by mechanical engineers, but also civil engineers have their own system of measurements, whether it is from surveying to the construction materials, and all those testing takes place. So we all have what is known as universal testing machines. We also have compression testing machines in our laboratories of civil and mechanical engineering. And they do also consultancy for testing of the building materials. And one of the characteristics which every institute which does this testing has to follow is to get it calibrated every day. And there are proving rings, and we carry this equipment to a place where they get calibrated calibrated and then come back and then you get certified. I think this method of calibration, comparing with the standard and seeing that there's no error is a very important thing as far as various equipment and instruments are concerned. We move on to other electrical and electronic gadgets which came in the late 1940s and 50s and beyond. And therefore, there is a full-fledged course called as Instrumentation and Control System in many of the engineering colleges who do testing as well as creation of services and products for electronic industry. So we have a gamut of various types of equipment which need to be calibrated regularly. And I come to a very important sector which is normally neglected, and that is the medical health sector. The reason is in most of the hospitals you have very high-end equipment, whether it is in terms of scanning various body parts, in terms of X-ray, ultrasound, but no one actually calibrates at a regular interval, and therefore the results which come out of that sometimes are under question. And therefore, from different laboratories, sometimes we get different results. And so I think along with all the measurements and quality testing and calibration which we do, I think one of the most important places where this has to be done is in terms of medical equipment and also having some kind of technicians who are available on the job in the system itself, rather than just technicians who operate the machine, but also who will be in a position to repair if there is a requirement of that. And we are also thinking of a course called as clinical engineering for post-contact. So I think in education sector, therefore, whether it is civil, mechanical, electrical, electronic, you name any subject, and as well as in subjects like science, with physics, chemistry, biology, I think there is a great need for full-fledged, maybe a 3-credit course on measurement, metrology, whereby students become serious about the need and how to operate, say how, why, and what has to be also taught in the educational institutions. Then they will get fully prepared to take up the job in the sector where they finally lead to. So at this particular occasion, when we are talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat, rightly Dr. Aswal pointed out a few things that when our products are sent abroad, many times they get rejected, either food items or we also listen to sometimes textile materials which get rejected, maybe fruits get rejected, and therefore the quality testing before they are sent out is one aspect. Second aspect is some of the countries may dump substandard products into our country, and therefore testing them here is also important. And whether it is done in automobile sector, whether it is the health sector, whether it is electronic goods sector, I think in every domain you need to be alert both while something comes in or something is being sent out. And for this, the NPL, which is spearheading this movement, is very important, and we celebrate this day in particular. This year has been measurement for global trade, and therefore this becomes all the more significant in the light of Atmanirbhar Bharat. I hope we will have a great year and we will start exporting as soon as the lockdown is lifted. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Anil Sastry. Our chairman of the Research Council of National Physical Laboratory, Dr. Grover, he is the one of the pioneers in understanding the history of science and technology. And yesterday evening he sent me a message and saying that on 13th April 1940, when His Excellency Sir Henry Craik was worried about the World War II, and there was a quote that was on 13th April 1940. There is every reason to suppose that the war will give an immense flip to Indian industry. There will be a double stimulus. The great demand for industrial products created by the war will be direct incentive to the existing industry, while the difficulty of obtaining many of the articles we are importing before will stimulate the search for substitute or ways and means of producing them here. And that was a call of Made in India at that point of time. Again, in the lockdown of COVID-19, when we are again locked down, there is a huge opportunity for the Made in India. Now, the Made in India, again, I said that our responsibility is to educate students. Our responsibility is to educate the engineer, the doctors, the industrials, the MSMEs, and the government, the policymakers. Now, one of the things which I already spelled out that National Physical Laboratory disseminates the traceability to the Bharatiya Nirdesh Dravya, that is certified reference. And we started that program somewhere in 2017. As per one estimate, we import worth 10,000 crore rupees of CRM every year. And it appears that that is not enough. The minimum market would be roughly somewhere between 30,000 to 40,000 crore rupees per annum. For testing of the water, the testing of the food, everywhere you need the certified reference. So we did that work 2 years ago, and I'm happy that we could produce 72 BNDs that includes the 49 pure gold made by the India government mint. The market price of the imported was 2,25,000 for 15 grams, whereas the mint sells only at 87,000 for 15 grams. So that is where it makes. For the cement, along with the National Cement Board of Government of India under Ministry of Commerce, we have already launched around 27 cement reference material, and I am happy to tell you that many of the cements are even being exported even to the developed nations. We have also signed MOU with Hindustan Petroleum and Bharat Petroleum. We have already started producing many of the certified reference materials in the petroleum products, and that is saving a huge amount of resources. So we have already made a beginning, but this is just beginning. We are going to go a long way. Now, I will request the CEO of the NABL, Sri Venkateswaran, to release the coffee table book of the BND, which compiles the BNDs made by NPL and marketed so far. And these BNDs are even listed at the COMA database, which is the international database, and therefore these BNDs are available anywhere in the world.
Thank you so much, sir. And very warm welcome to everyone for this World Meteorology Day program. And respected Dr. Aswan, Director NPL, respected Dr. Shekhar Mande, DG DHIR, and Secretary DHIR, respected Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, Chairman AICTE, Sri Jayanth Sahasrabudhe, Yuga, and respected lab community, then all meteorology people who are hearing us on this auspicious day. First, I would like to thank Director for giving me this opportunity also today to share some of the thoughts with respect to meteorology in laboratory accreditation and addressing all of you on this occasion. First, I would like to congratulate and wish a big success for this World Meteorology Day 2020. This has got a measurement for global trade as the theme this year. Measurement for global trade covers almost everything whichever is getting exported. Not only on export is concerned, whatever things we are getting it inside our country also. Without measurement, nothing is there. In fact, I remember years back when Director NPL told us the importance of meteorology and traceability in particular. Always he used to ask us, what is that you people are doing it for traceability? So we used to tell him that, sir, the standard tells about measurement traceability, and our officers ensure from the lab whether those things are being maintained and it is in order or not. Then first time he resigned and then he left.
again, next time when we met, he was explaining about the pyramid structure and how SI units are been transferred from primary standard to secondary and then tertiary till down the line. So he asked me a question that what is accreditation? So I thought that he is asking something, but then I answered him, sir, accreditation is nothing but competence for a particular scope. Then he asked, what is that you are giving accreditation? To who all you are giving? So I told him, sir, we are giving accreditation to testing labs, calibration labs, medical labs, and then 2 more new programs we have started regarding proficiency testing, provider accreditation, and reference material producer accreditation. Then he asked, what is that competency you see with those laboratories? What is that you are giving accreditation? Then I told him, sir, competency is nothing but a set of things where the result what is being given by the lab is reliable or not, or it is okay and technically valid results they are giving it up. So then he told, what is the important component in that? I told the personnel is one set of components, the environment conditions, then equipment and the method what they are using, then the quality control parameters what is being done. So all these things are parameters of. Then he patiently listened everything and then asked me one more question. What is this about the reliability of results what you are talking about? And how do you ensure whether the equipment whatever they are using are all traceable or not? I told him that, sir, these things are being calibrated from a accredited calibration lab. Then he listened again, how you will ensure the traceability from accredited calibration lab? I told him, sir, the accredited calibration laboratory gets their equipment calibrated from a higher level lab. And those laboratories get it calibrated from NPS. They asked, are you sure that 100% this traceability is being maintained? I told, yes, sir. Because as per 17025 standard, everybody are supposed to maintain this and this change is being followed. Keeping this aside, he asked another question about water. He asked about water, what is that reference standard or reference level is being done? Can you show me some certificate? I showed him a certificate. The moment he saw the certificate, he gave it back to me, asking that you see what is that it is there into the certificate. So when we were reviewing that, we could find out a lot of lacunas in that. The second point is on understanding also what we think about that and what exactly it is there into that certificate. So these 2 loopholes is what is that we could find it out. Then once when we analyzed it, what is the cost for that? Then we could see that when nothing is available in the country, where people are going abroad to take something, and even in that particular place also things are not available as a reference material. So the system was the next best is what is being accepted. That was the principle what was being followed on that. Even though things were not available and the next best was being followed, but still there is a question mark about the traceability to SI unit and the chain whether it is being maintained or not. So then he gave an idea that why don't you train your assessors properly so that wherever your assessors are going for doing assessment, they ensure things are being properly done, and wherever there is going to be a problem, to at least get back to us where there is a place to get improved or wherever the gaps are there, those things can be improved upon. And then in last meeting, when they discussed it, he told me to give the list of things, the reference materials, or what is there in the country and what is not there in the country. Then we made an extensive exercise of that, and then we submitted in, sir, so much materials are being imported and so much lacuna is there in the country. Same way regarding calibration. So a lot of work of this is being done, and then once we submitted, then he asked me about understanding the principles onto this and how much important it is for the traceability or measurement traceability in the entire system, so that the results what is being given is being made reliable. Very recently he asked about this UV on where it is on C detection scale, where we tried with a number of laboratories to get in the certificate, but we couldn't get it. That's the fact. There is a requirement for improvement, there is a need for improvement. Once these things have been understood, then it is possible for us to make it better and then improve upon the system, and then we will be able to achieve something. So when he was thinking that only people are talking, not doing something, so this new year he presented me with me a pyramid structure so that that can be seen every day and people can work on to that so that things are getting improved upon. So whenever we see that, it strikes to the mind, yes, we need to create certain levels, primary, then secondary, and then tertiary kind of labs on the pyramid structure. So we are working on to that to create certain level so that the traceability part is not getting misread at all. So once from NPL the calibrations are being done to the secondary level labs, and then the secondary level labs can get things calibrated down the line, and then the calibration, accredited calibration laboratory will be able to do it for the testing labs, and the traceability chain or the pyramid what he was referring to will be followed in toto so that there is strict adherence to the system, so that there will be no loophole onto that. This is one side with respect to physical materials are being concerned. The other side, what he told, and he made me release also about this certified reference material, where there is a very big dearth of CRMs in the country. A lot of imports are also happening onto that. We also made a big list on that, and we are all working onto that. An excellent model what he developed was, what all just possible to get developed from NPL. They are doing it themselves. Certain places where he could take the extended help or people who are really producing the reference material, so that they are also signing this BND, so that they are being traceability is being ensured, they are being given a proper BND number, and a proper recognition is taking place for. That's another wonderful model what we brought in to the system in India, so that everybody can get benefited out of our own country's material what is being produced, so that the cost comes down. And incidentally, he also referred that even the material what is produced in our country is also getting exported. That is additional and one step ahead what is that it is being done. All these wonderful things are being done by him, and I am very much happy and lucky also that he is our chairman in NABL. I could have a lot of interaction with him, and a lot of inputs we get from him. And for my every activity, whatever I am doing, it also immediately he clears it off so fast, so quick. Wherever we are going away, so he brings us into a right path, so that we are able to do something. And he had recently, I think in the month of February, we had did a assessor conclave also in NPL, where he could give us the support, and he himself talked to the assessors who are going to do the assessment, so that the chain is being maintained properly. Now we are also planning a lot of technical training, so that wherever things are getting lacunas are there, those things can be bridged upon, and the metrology chain for laboratory accreditation, which is very, very important, and all our standards, whether we do it 17025, 17043 or 17034, every standard talks about metrological traceability and the traceability chain, how it needs to be maintained and how important it is for the development of the country. It's all been explained, and we are putting little efforts onto that, so that we are able to achieve something on that particular note, and we raise up to the occasion whatever it is being needed from our side. And so we also made it that all accredited labs from CRM or reference material producer are also signing this BND, so their qualities of the material are being doubly checked, and traceability is being directly given from NPL, and extended arm for NPL for this reference material is also there. And on this occasion, DG CSIR is also present. I have a request to him that there are many CSIR labs which are all in the country where we are doing on reference material. So there needs to be a little bit push, so that all the reference material producers which are all doing into the CSIR labs can take the traceability from NPL, and they can all be a reference material producer for the country, where it is possible for us to develop more, and traceability part will be taken care by NPL, and rest of the CSIR labs will come forward for this production of reference material, and they take an accreditation based on ISO 17034. It will be a wonderful, phenomenal change what is going to happen into the country, and the cost, whatever it is going out from the country, can be saved, And also, since we will be able to produce a better material with a lower cost, these things also can get exported out. There is one more model what we are trying to do is on comparison of results, because wherever things were happening, even Director NCL told about the food materials, whatever it is going outside or getting rejected. Yes, it is there, but now we are trying to improve upon on interlaboratory comparison or by doing proficiency testing. So two sets is what we are planning it. One for testing laboratories already it is available. There are a number of around 45 proficiency testing providers are available where they give a sample, blind sample, to the laboratories to do the testing and take their results and compare their results and give them the feedback where they are standing out with respect to the central point. Same way for calibration laboratories, he has also given me a green signal that NCL can start and do it for secondary level labs, so that there is a round robin happening at a higher level. And the same thing can happen at a bottom level where they can be an activity get PT provider in calibration, so that these two chains can get bridged. So the results, whatever it is being given, are comparable between the laboratories also, so that there will be no issues with respect to the results what we are going to give it within the country, and when it is going to go outside the country, that will not have a lot of differences into that. There may be a slight variation with respect to the sample or the sampling what is being drawn from the area. There are a chance, but it will be minimized the chances, as what he has rightly told, how it is possible for us to bridge it and how we will be able to achieve the measurements for the global trade, so that there are no issues between countries also, because NABL also is a MRA to APAC and ILAC signatories. So APAC is Asia Pacific Accreditation Corporation and ILAC is International Laboratory Accreditation Corporation. Similarly, NCL also has got a MRA with BITM. He has already explained about that through APMP model. So both the institutes are internationally earmarked, and the cooperations, whatever it is happening between us, is still only recognized everywhere. The same thing when we are able to do it within the country, and the support from other bodies like BIS, where it is a standards body, and then legal metrology. So it will be possible for us to join hands and ensure the measurements for global trade to become a very big success. And I once again thank for giving me this opportunity and wish everybody who are all the metrologists, who are all related with metrology, and the lab community, my own NABL colleagues who are there and seeing onto this, and NPL scientists, for each one of you, I would like to wish a World Metrology Day and the success of this program. And thanking Director NPL for giving me a wonderful opportunity on this occasion to share my views or share the thought process how it is possible for us as a laboratory accreditation body where we are doing metrology, where we are complying to 17025. Still, there are ways for us to improve upon, and certainly we will improve, and then we'll be able to achieve to the pyramid level what we have given us, and to the traceability to SI units will be definitely maintained. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Venkat. As we say that the corona chains need to be broken down. We should avoid the spread of corona, but the measurement traceability chain should be made as strong as possible. The measurement not only gives you the high quality science, high quality technology, but it also gives you the high quality product, which I am discussing again and again. During this corona period, there were many items were floated in the market. One of them was the UV sanitizer. And in UV sanitizer, if you put your object that probably has got a virus under UV light, its RNA is broken down. That is a well-established phenomena right from decades. Now, one of the industrious fellow who is genuine in nature, he came to us and he said, "Sir, look at it. The UV light has got three ranges, A, B, and C, and the virus are only cleared by the C wave range, that is between 200 to 280 nanometers. You please check it whether they are going to give you the UVC or not." Unfortunately, the UVC was so poor that they are not enough to kill the virus. Then, of course, I also requested NABL and many other laboratories across the country, can somebody provide me the UVC source? Unfortunately, I could not get a good source. Then, the normal UVC light is again a filament type mercury-based lump, which also gives you many other frequencies, but the UVC need to be characterized well. And then, as we say that CSR labs are meant for industry, we are meant to develop their products, and we have done this exercise with one of the private partners in Delhi. For almost 20 days, day in and out, we could stabilize the UVC light measurement capability, its profile, its distribution. Then we designed a new box, UV sanitizer box, and now which is ready today for the launch. Now, this kind of message should go to the masses, and when we talk about the masses, nothing better than the Vigyana Bharati. Vigyana Bharati, over the period of time, decades, they have been doing this job to ensure that whatever the labs are producing, the technology, the techniques, the knowledge base, that should be propagated to the masses. So among us, we have got Jain Sahasrabudhe, who is the General Secretary of the Vigyana Bharati, and he has been kind enough to join this series of Meteorology Day, which are celebrating every year. And I request him to launch the product which was made by one of the MSMEs in the country and deliver his speech. Yeah. Okay.
विश्व मापिकी दिवस पर सभी का मैं अभिवादन करता हूं, अभिनंदन करता हूं। प्रतिवर्ष 20 मई ये विश्व मापिकी दिन पूरे विश्व में मनाया जाता है और विज्ञान भारती के लिए सौभाग्य का विषय है कि पहली बार आज विज्ञान भारती एनपीएल के साथ मिलकर इस विश्व मापिकी दिवस को मनाने का पहला प्रयास कर रही है। प्रारंभ में ही जैसे डॉक्टर शेखर मांडे जी ने उल्लेख किया, मैं भी विज्ञान भारती की ओर से इस एनपीएल नेशनल फिजिकल लेबोरेटरी के निदेशक, बाद में सीएसआईआर के मुख्य निदेशक और एनएबीएल का भी जिन्होंने नेतृत्व किया, ऐसे डॉक्टर एसके जोशी जी को बहुत तहे दिल से श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूं, क्योंकि उनके नेतृत्व में ही इस विधा का अपने देश में काफी अच्छा विकास हो चुका है। उनका स्मरण करना और उनको आदरांजलि देना हम सबके लिए एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण इस प्रकार का कर्तव्य है। जैसे यहाँ पर उल्लेख किया कि इस प्रकार का एक छोटा उपकरण यहाँ पर समाज की सेवा में यहाँ पर अर्पित करने का अभी एक छोटा हमने काम किया, तो हमने सोचा कि किसी भी समाज को सुचारू रूप से अगर चलाना है तो ये मापन की बड़ी आवश्यकता रहती है। मापन और प्रमाणीकरण, अगर ये दो बातें ठीक रूप से अगर चलती है तो कोई भी समाज सुचारू रूप से चलता है और समाज का विकास होता है। समाज में नीतिमत्ता को भी स्थिर करने के लिए इस मापन की बड़ी आवश्यकता रहती है। अगर मापन में समानता न हो तो समाज की नीतिमत्ता भी गिर सकती है, और शायद यही एक मुख्य कारण रहा कि 1875 में फ्रांस के अंदर जिस प्रकार की एक अराजकता थी, वो वहां के लोगों को ध्यान में आया कि मुख्य रूप से मापन में प्रमाणीकरण न होने के कारण एक प्रकार की अराजकता पूरे फ्रांस में फैली हुई थी, और उसको ठीक करने की दृष्टि से ही ये प्रमाणीकरण की आवश्यकता और प्रमाणीकरण को ठीक करने के लिए मापन की आवश्यकता ये महत्वपूर्ण मानी गई और उससे ही आधुनिक विज्ञान के इस कालावधि में इस विधा का विकास हुआ। तो हमारे समाज के लिए और पूरे मानवता के लिए इसकी बड़ी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका है और ये मापन का शास्त्र किसी भी समाज को और पूरे मानव जाति को विकसित करने के लिए बहुत ही एक महत्वपूर्ण मौलिक इस प्रकार का एक विज्ञान है। हम सभी इसको ध्यान में रखेंगे और इसका महत्व ध्यान में रखते हुए विज्ञान भारती ने ऐसे सोचा कि एनपीएल के साथ मिलकर इस कार्यक्रम को हम मनाएंगे और समाज तक ले जाने का प्रयास करेंगे। मैं विशेष रूप से हिंदी में इसलिए बात कर रहा हूं कि अपने देश में केवल 10% लोग ही अंग्रेजी को जानते हैं और 90% लोग अंग्रेजी समझते ही नहीं है। इसलिए समाज के पास अगर इन बातों को ले जाना है तो अपनी देशी भाषाओं में इस बात को ले जाने की आवश्यकता है और विज्ञान भारती एनपीएल के साथ मिलकर आज इसका प्रारंभ कर रही है। हमने और 2 कार्यक्रम इसमें सोचे हैं कि अपने देश में जो छात्र जगत है और विशेष रूप से छात्रों को विज्ञान की शिक्षा देने वाले जो शिक्षक है, उनको इस बात का महत्व समझाने की बड़ी आवश्यकता है। और जैसे मैंने डॉक्टर असवाल जी से इसके बारे में बात की, तो उन्होंने मुझे बहुत एक अच्छा प्रसंग बताया जो बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण है। उन्होंने कहा वो किसी एक विद्यालय में गए थे और वहाँ एक प्रयोगशाला में एक छोटा छात्र कुछ एक प्रयोग कर रहा था, शायद ओहम्स लॉ के बारे में। और उसने जो निरीक्षण किया और अपने शिक्षक को जाकर बताया, तो शिक्षक ने बताया ये गलत है। लेकिन छात्र तो अपने किए हुए निरीक्षण पर एकदम कायम था। बाद में ऐसे ध्यान में आया कि जिस उपकरण के द्वारा उसने वो निरीक्षण किया था, उस उपकरण के अंदर ही कुछ गड़बड़ी थी। तो इसका मतलब ये है कि अपने सामान्य प्रयोग जिसके द्वारा विज्ञान सिखाया जाता है और एक वैज्ञानिक दृष्टिकोण निर्माण होता है, उसमें भी अगर ठीक प्रकार से प्रमाणीकरण नहीं हुआ, मापन करने की ठीक पद्धति अपने छोटे-छोटे विद्यालयों के अंदर जो प्रयोगशाला है, वहां पर ठीक प्रकार से स्थापित नहीं हुई, तो आगे चलकर अपने देश में जो बड़ा अनुसंधान होगा, उसमें भी कई प्रकार की गड़बड़ियां हो सकती है। और इसलिए अपने देश में एकदम छोटे स्तर से इस विधा का बड़ा जागरूकता लोगों की करना आवश्यक है। और उस दृष्टि से हमने ऐसे सोचा कि आज के दिन विद्यालयीन छात्र, उनके शिक्षक और महाविद्यालयीन छात्र, विशेषकर अभियांत्रिकी के और उनको शिक्षा देने वाले उनके शिक्षक वहां तक आज के दिन पहुंचने का प्रयास करें ताकि उनके अंदर भी इस एक शास्त्र की जानकारी उनको मिले, इसका महत्व वो समझे। समाज के लिए भी इसका महत्व समझाने की आवश्यकता है और इनके द्वारा समाज तक इसका महत्व पहुंचे। इसलिए विज्ञान भारती ने सोचा कि एनपीएल के साथ हाथ मिलाकर अगर इस कार्यक्रम को हम करेंगे तो समाज में इसकी जागरूकता निर्माण करने में बहुत ही अच्छा एक कार्यक्रम हम कर पाएंगे, एक अच्छी गतिविधि होगी और इसको भी आगे कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं, इसका विचार भी आज के दिन किया जाएगा। तो ये सारी बातें ध्यान में रखकर विज्ञान भारती ने इस कार्यक्रम में सम्मिलित होने का विचार किया और मुझे आनंद है कि आज एनपीएल विज्ञान भारती और जैसे आज अनिल जी सहस्त्रबुद्धे यहाँ पर उपस्थित है, तो अपने देश का जो एक बहुत बड़ा संगठन जो अपने देश के अभियांत्रिकी शिक्षा को दिशा दर्शन करता है, तो हम साथ में मिलकर इन बातों को आगे बढ़ाने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं। तो मुझे विश्वास है कि इसमें हम सफल हो जाएंगे। अपना देश एक जागरूक समाज इस विधा के बारे में ऐसा समाज उभरेगा और जिसकी अभी हम आकांक्षा कर रहे हैं कि एक आत्मनिर्भर भारत जो विश्व के लिए बहुत ही उपयोगी साबित होगा। जैसे इस संकट की घड़ी में भी हमने एक काम दिखाया करके कि पूरे विश्व को जो औषधि की आवश्यकता थी, वो बहुत अच्छी प्रकार से हमने वहां पर देने का प्रयास किया और सारा विश्व उसके लिए भारत के प्रति कृतज्ञ आज है। और ये इस मापन विधा के कारण ही संभव हो पाया। विश्व ने उसको स्वीकार किया क्योंकि जिस प्रकार का उत्पादन यहाँ पर हुआ और जो पूरे विश्व के लिए जिस प्रकार से अपेक्षा थी उसके अनुरूप ये उस कसौटी पर भी खरा उतरा। तो इसकी महत्ता हम इस छोटे उदाहरण से समझ सकते हैं और अपने देश को भी विकसित करने के लिए इस विधा का कितना महत्व है, ये शास्त्र कितना महत्वपूर्ण है, इसको हम समझ सकते हैं। तो इसी बात को आगे ले जाने के लिए, बढ़ाने के लिए, समाज को जागरूक करने के लिए हमने आज मिलकर ये साझा कार्यक्रम किया है। मुझे विश्वास है कि इसी मार्ग पर आगे बढ़ेंगे और अपने देश को आत्मनिर्भर इस प्रकार का देश बनाएंगे। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद। धन्यवाद जयंत जी। ये हमारा सपना था कि हम जो मेट्रोलॉजी है इसको हम स्कूलों तक पहुंचाएं, इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज तक पहुंचाएं। थोड़ा सा ये दुर्भाग्य हमारा कि जो मेट्रोलॉजिकल ट्रेसेबिलिटी है कि कैसे हम अपने मापन को SI यूनिट तक लेके जाएं, इसके बारे में कोई करिकुलम किसी भी बुक में नहीं है। थोड़ा बहुत मेट्रोलॉजी पढ़ाई जाती है, थोड़ा SI यूनिट पढ़ाया जाता है, लेकिन इस SI यूनिट का साइंस से, टेक्नोलॉजी से, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग से क्या रिलेशन है, ये समहाउ हमको पढ़ाया नहीं गया है। विज्ञान भारती के साथ मिलकर हम इसको आगे बढ़ाएंगे और कोशिश करेंगे कि जो मेट्रोलॉजी का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो सब तक पहुंचे। अब हम ऑलमोस्ट इस कार्यक्रम के अंत में हैं। जैसे हमने कहा था कि जो भारतीय निर्देशक द्रव्य है उसके लिए बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्रीज हमारे साथ में आ रही हैं और आज हमारे साथ में 2 इंडस्ट्रीज ऐड हो रही हैं जिनके साथ में हम MOU साइन कर रहे हैं। उसमें से पहली है फेयर लैब। फेयर लैब एक लैब है जो जितने भी एक्सपोर्ट हमारे इक्विपमेंट होते हैं या प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं, फूड प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं, उनके लिए टेस्टिंग करते हैं क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस के लिए। उन्होंने ये बताया था कि जितने भी हमारे खाद्य प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, पर्टिकुलरली जो ऑयल्स हैं, फैटी एसिड्स हैं, मिनरल्स हैं, उनकी बेंच मार्किंग के लिए हमारे पास रेफरेंस मटेरियल नहीं है और जो रेफरेंस मटेरियल हम लेके आते हैं वो अमेरिका से खरीदते हैं या यूरोप से खरीदते हैं, वो बहुत महंगे होते हैं और कई बार हम उसको इसलिए यूज नहीं कर पाते। तो उन्होंने एक कोशिश की थी कि हम साथ में बनाएंगे और इस संबंध में मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा फेयर लैब की जोशी जी को और यहाँ आ जाए और आदान प्रदान करें। आ जाए। बस 2 मिनट फोटो ये इधर ये आप दोनों कर लो। सामने हाँ ठीक है। तो ये फेयर लैब है, ये फूड मटेरियल्स के DNG बनाएंगे और इनकी लैब अकेला करीब 30 करोड़ रुपए के रेफरेंस मटेरियल सालाना यूज करती है और जब ये बनाएंगे तो इससे इनकी बचत होगी और ये कई और देश के लोगों को सपोर्ट कर पाएंगे।
सर ये गुड़गांव में सर ने कहा कि हम लोग जो फेयर लैब नेशनल रिसर्च लेबोरेटरी भी है तो हम लोग
और अब दूसरा जो है जालान है, ये प्रीशियस मेटल सिल्वर के लिए बना रहे हैं। गोल्ड के लिए हमने इंडिया गवर्नमेंट मिंट बॉम्बे के साथ किया हुआ है और जालान के साथ में सिल्वर किया है। तो जैसे कि हमारे जितने भी गोल्ड और सिल्वर के ज्वेलरीज होते हैं उन सब के लिए हमको रेफरेंसिंग चाहिए होती है। तो एक बार अगर हमारे रेफरेंस मटेरियल अपने बन जाए तो गुणवत्ता किसी भी ज्वेलर्स को कभी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। और आज के दिन में ज्वेलर्स इससे यूज नहीं करते हैं कि जो हम इम्पोर्टेड सर्टिफाइड रेफरेंस मटेरियल होते हैं बहुत एक्सपेंसिव होते हैं, तो इससे जो है हमारी गुणवत्ता बढ़ेगी। तो मैं आभारी हूँ कि जालान प्रोसेस में आए और बनाएंगे। ऑल द बेस्ट। तो इस सब के साथ में हम इस कार्यक्रम के अंत में आ रहे हैं और जैसे हमने कहा था कि क्वालिटी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। प्रोफेसर SK जोशी जो हमारे फॉर्मर DG थे, NPL के डायरेक्टर थे, NABL के चेयरमैन थे, NABL के chairman थे. In fact, till his last breath, he was the chairman of NABL. Now I am also looking after the NABL chairmanship as well as the NPL directorship, and I have requested CUA that the best NABL laboratory which performs the quality should be awarded with Professor S.K. Joshi Excellence Laboratory Award. And we declare this, and this will be given annually on World Meteorology Day every year. तो जितने भी लेबोरेटरीज जितने भी देख रहे हैं आज इस प्रोग्राम को, तैयारी कर लीजिए अपनी क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस के लिए, एंड गेटिंग द फर्स्ट प्रोफेसर एस.के. जोशी अवार्ड इज गोइंग टू बी मार्वलस. थैंक यू, थैंक्स लॉट.
Very nice.